Thanks for taking the time here to check out this quick demonstration of Trace and how our video system provides effortless game video and automated editing. So our philosophy at Trace is a little different from other kind of companies out there in the video technology space in that we understand that there's a lot of different ways to get your game filmed. You can purchase your own camera system that you set up and manually film every game. You can pay a video company or camera operator to come out and film the game for you. There's a lot of different ways to actually acquire the game footage. However, that's when the real problems start, is when you have 70, 80, or 90 minutes worth of full-length game film that then needs to be downloaded and clipped and edited and all of this manual painful process to extract the value from that full game video. So our philosophy at Trace is obviously we want to automate that process and make it as streamlined and effortless as possible for you, but we know that there's three real keys to getting value out of that game footage, and it boils down to number one, personalization. Your 70, 80, or 90 minutes worth of game footage needs to be personalized so that it's in a relevant, digestible, kind of bite-sized video moments for all of the different members of your team to utilize. So whether it's coaches, individual players, or parents, each playlist needs to be tailored to them specifically so that they get personalized, relevant footage that they care about, and that makes them so much more likely to actively engage with it. Secondly, speed is crucial in terms of quickly getting that game footage broken down and back in your hands while it's still relevant. So while you still remember those moments from the game, we need to get it delivered to you, and our turnaround time is typically within 5 to 10 hours from when you take that game home and upload it. So we know it's industry leading in terms of the turnaround speed of getting those game results delivered to you automatically, sent right to your inbox as fast as possible. And then lastly, ease of use is obviously key in that if it's very time consuming, if it's really labor intensive, nobody's going to want to do it, and therefore they're just going to be so much more unlikely to do that week over week, month over month throughout your season. So ease of use is super key here at Trace in terms of providing you with effortless video. Now, what goes into all things Trace is so much more than just a camera. Obviously, we provide you with all the hardware that you need, the tripod, the camera system, you name it. However, it's the software that's really powerful and is really what's providing you with the value from that game footage in terms of providing you with individual player playlists and team playlists from the match automatically, tracking and analyzing all of your player performance data from each game, and then providing you with really simple and effortless tools to save, compile, and share your best or your favorite moments from each game or across your season. So how Trace benefits all the different members of your team is that we want to provide valuable playlists to all the different personas. We want coach to get all the tactical and team-based playlists that coach needs to help the team improve and develop. We want to provide all the individual players on the team with personalized playlists that are relevant to them and gets these kids actively engaged in watching their game footage week over week. And then, of course, parents or family and friends, whoever we're sharing game footage off to, we want to provide them with some useful, beneficial game footage as well. So if we jump into the Trace interface here and take a look at what it all entails, one thing that coaches really enjoy is the tactical radar map you see here. This gives you that bird's eye view of the match where you can see at any moment of the game, how is our shape, how is our spacing, how is our positioning, and it's just a very helpful visual tool in terms of seeing how our positioning is going throughout the match. If you go into the different video playlists from the game, you're going to see everything that's automatically provided for you. On the left here is going to be your tactical moments or more of your team-based playlist. So what we automatically create for you is a progressions playlist, which is an easy way to see how your team's progressing or advancing the ball up the field. Defensive breakdowns, which will be all the moments that your team is getting broken down defensively. Your goals, your touch chains, which is all of your team's passing buildups and sequences, a combination play that's 3 passes or more. And then obviously here it's a breakdown by thirds, so you can hone in more specifically on a third of the field that you want to review and see how we're performing in the attack, midfield, or defensive third. Now for the individual players and parents, what they care most about is their individual playlists. So this will feature the player moments and all their interactions from that match. So we can jump in, coaches can provide personalized individual feedback to all the players on their team by reviewing their playlists. And then, of course, players are empowered to take control of their development and improvement by watching their game footage. And it's really engaging because, again, it's tailored and personalized to each and every one of the players on our team. In addition to all the auto editing, it also obviously auto tags each of these moments so we can see what was going on in the different video moments. What third of the field did it take place? What was happening? Was it a touch chain or a progression or a defensive breakdown? It auto tags goals or whatever relevant actions occurred during this moment, as well as which players were involved. So not only does Trace auto film and auto edit your footage, it also tracks player performance data. So we can check out for our team how all the players performed in this match. So if we click on any of the players on the team, we can get a snapshot here of their performance. We can watch all of their individual moments. We can see how the players were doing in terms of their maximum efforts, their stamina percentage, their total distance run in miles, their top speed in miles per hour, and their minutes played, as well as a heat map to be able to track and see how much ground this player is covering and just how active they were in this particular match. So once we get all of our playlists auto-edited and created for us, we can then save and compile and create our own custom playlist to then share that off to whoever we want to check out our video. So it's as simple as hitting this little star icon. This is to add a moment to your Trace ID, as we call it. So this basically allows you to take any of these individual moments and add them to your own custom playlist. So if I wanted to add this specific moment, I could then fast forward or rewind to whatever is just the right time I'm looking for. I can drag and drop this little spotlight feature for whatever action I'm highlighting. And now I'm ready to hit continue and add tags to this moment. So for anything that was in attack, defense, or from a goalkeeper's perspective, we can add these simple tags of what occurred during this moment, and then we can add them to our Trace ID so that it provides a little bit more context and feedback as to what was occurring in that video moment. So I can go back to my game and continue adding more, or if I want to see it on my Trace ID, I can click here, and now we can take a look at what a player's or coach's or parent's Trace ID would actually look like. So here, if we scroll down in the moments section, we're going to see all of those individual moments that were saved and compiled here into this custom playlist. And what's really neat about this is it's going to provide you with so much more context of what was occurring throughout this game and this individual moment. So here I can see all of the players' tags. I can see the score line and who the opponent was. I can see what minute of the match this moment occurred. And if I wanted to continue watching more, I could click this full game link, and now I can go see this specific moment in the full game footage or jump right into the first half or second half kickoff. So in addition to your custom playlist, you can also go to the matches section, and this is going to automatically update each time that we trace a new game. So on each of these individual games, it's going to show us, again, more context of who the opponent was, what was the score line, and if I wanted to go back and watch any of these individual games, I could simply click here and do so. In terms of the performance data that we provide, the individual games will give you that one specific game's report, but on the stats section here on Trace ID, we'll now be able to see a 5-game sample size. So it gives me a little bit more context into this player's normal physical output and their performances for all the metrics that we provide, as well as the heat map. And then finally, your About section, you could just plug in all of your relevant information, your bio, your contact info. Once it's all updated and filled out, I can personalize it with a photo, and now I'm ready to share it off to whoever via email, or I can copy the URL, text it, or share it however I'm communicating with someone. So we make sharing incredibly simple and easy, whether it's your Trace ID or any of your playlists or moments. In one click, you can download, email, text, or simply share directly to social media. And it's that simple. Now, what does this all mean? What's it boil down to? What's the impact of Trace for our team? Well, we know firsthand, obviously, this is saving you an incredible amount of time. If you think about your team's roster, think about one given game, how much time we're spending rewatching it, downloading it, clipping it, editing it, creating reels, all of that time across a full season adds up to countless hours. And Trace is obviously giving you that time back by doing all of this automatically. For player education and engagement, obviously, if we want players to learn and develop and improve from their game video, the first step is getting them to actively watch their game video. Again, traditionally, this has always been a challenge because players, parents, and coaches don't have the time or interest to relive 70, 80, or 90 minutes. So by personalizing and tailoring your individual playlist for each match, it's so much more engaging. Players actively are consuming their game video, and obviously then they're getting the benefits of learning from it, developing from it, and finally showcasing themselves by sharing their game video to whoever they want to share it to. Whether it's family, friends, or college coaches, you can save and compile your favorite or best moments on your Trace ID, send it out in one click, and it makes that whole process so simple for you. At the end of the day, you're deciding if you're going to invest in something. And at Trace, we believe that if we want to spend money on something like game video, then we really need to utilize it. We got to watch it. We got to engage with it for it to be worth it. And we know that full-length game video, it's just really hard, nearly impossible to get any sort of value out of it because nobody actively wants to watch or has the time for that 70 to 90 minutes. Trace solves this problem for you by auto-editing the playlists and creating those personalized moments so that now we're engaging our players, our families, and our coaches. We're making their lives so much easier. They're actively watching, sharing, and consuming our game video, and that adds up to an average on Trace of 1,600 plus moments viewed per game. So that's it. Everything is included in your Trace subscription. Everything that you just saw, unlimited game film storage and sharing, access from any device anywhere, Trace ID as we discussed, and all the equipment is included and insured. So for one simple flat rate, you get your annual subscription. And on average, when you break that out amongst however many players or families you have on a given team, our average yearly price is between $150 to $225 per player, which includes everything. Unlimited filming, every game auto-filmed and edited, all of the equipment, everything you need to get value out of your game footage and make this process effortless and streamlined is all provided for you within your Trace subscription. Thank you.